you have been quite clear that you think it's time for this two-child benefit cap to go. Tell my listeners why.
Yeah, I mean, most of us in the Labour Party have been campaigning against this horrible law for quite a lot of years. In my case, it's been about 7 or 8 years now. So the idea that we wouldn't scrap it as soon as we got into government is really quite dispiriting, frankly.
And look, you've described this as one of the most unpleasant pieces of legislation ever passed in the UK. What is the effect of this that you see in your own constituency with families?
I think actually it was designed and has worked to produce a kind of shame, not just with families, but single parents and single mums who are basically forced to disclose whether or not they've been the victims of sexual assault to loads of strangers just in order to apply for benefits. Somebody sat down and with a clear head wrote what we call the rape clause, and I find that utterly abhorrent.
And just to explain, that the rape clause was that if you could prove that you had been raped, you would be exempt from this cap. And many people understandably found that very uncomfortable and very distasteful. So look, you've set your stall out on this. However, your Prime Minister and your Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, have said that they've got no intention of removing this cap. How problematic do you think that's going to be? Because I think some Labour MPs are going to put down amendments. Others may well put amendments as well. How much of a problem do you think this is going to be in Parliament? How many of your fellow colleagues do you think will share your view and say, I want to, my first big vote in Parliament, I want to show my constituents, I want to show the public that I want rid of this?
I couldn't give you numbers, but I know that certainly the backbenchers who were here initially, before the new government are not pleased and not happy. Potentially, I would imagine that quite a few new MPs would feel the same. I mean, we don't know exactly what the government are going to say. Let's give them a chance. But I think, at the very least, they have to talk about free breakfast clubs and definite ways of helping child poverty if they're going to say that they can't scrap the two-child limit, or at least we want to know when it's likely to be able to be scrapped, and then we'll think about, how we would vote on that. But I would be minded to vote for a scrap as soon as I possibly could.
So you're clear that you would vote against the new government to make your feelings clear about this?
Yeah, if it came to it.
And look, do you think that there will be any negotiation between backbench MPs and the front bench on this? Do you think Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer will reach out to people? Have you had anybody sort of reach out to you so far?
No, I mean, this conversation's been going on for a few months now in the Labour Party. No one's ever reached out to me personally, and I don't think to backbenchers generally. If that happened, I'm open to listening, of course, but they need to have those conversations quite quickly, I think.
And look, just a couple of our listeners have messaged in, Rosie. I'll just read out one message from James. We've had a few that have echoed this, which is some people are saying, look, if you can't afford more than 2 children, don't have more children. Isn't there a risk that this just encourages people to keep having more children to get more benefits? What would you say to my listener, James?
Life just isn't that straightforward, is it? I mean, that's a lovely kind of dystopian idea that we all do what we're sort of supposed to do and what's easy and fits into boxes. But life isn't like that. And some, families are bigger. That's just a fact. And also people that work full time are affected by this. It's not that people are sitting around and